Are you feeling a bit stuck in your business and frustrated with your team? So you started your business for freedom and then you hired your team to make your life easier, but your business is making you feel trapped and your team are taking up more time than what they're freeing up. Well, if so, I've got some good news for you. And the good news is that you're in a common zone that we recognize as the jump. Now, why is that good news? Well, it's good news because once you recognize what the problem is, you can navigate through it. So most business owners are going to meet this point. And the problem is most business owners never navigate through it. And if you stay stuck in this zone where you're frustrated, you feel stuck, it leads to a bad place. It leads to the owner, that's you, getting demotivated year after year after year, not being in love with your business, which then leads to your team getting demotivated, which eventually leads to you having to close your business because you'll try and sell it, but because it's reliant on you, it won't be able to sell. And that's why 80% of businesses that get listed for sale in the UK never sell because they're reliant on the owner. So the key to this is navigating through what we call the jump. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what the jump is, how it feels, why you reach there, and how to navigate through it. But just before I do that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. So my name's Mike Jones. I am the founder of two award-winning businesses, one called Better Happy and one called the Fractional Integrators. But before that, I served in the military for 5 years. I did 2 tours of Afghanistan attached to the Special Boat Service. And then after that, I went traveling for 3 years. I lived with monks and monasteries and I worked on deep sea fishing boats catching sharks off the south coast of Australia. So when I went into my first business after those experiences, I thought it was going to be a walk in the park. How easy is business compared to what I've been doing? And I was wrong. And I owned a business for 5 years, quite a successful business. I had a small team, were 6 figures, self-funded. So not going to change the world, but it was a good little business. But over that 5 years, I got myself really burnt out. And what I realized from that experience was that the challenges of owning a business and running a team are unique to anything else in the world. If it can burn out somebody that's been to Afghanistan, that's worked on deep sea fishing boats, that's got tons of leadership and management experience, tons of working under high pressure experience, if it can burn something like that out, it can challenge the best of us, which is why so many business owners are stressed and so many businesses end up closing down because it's got some very unique challenges. So after those experiences, I went on to spend lots of money and lots of time working with mentors and business specialists and psychologists to figure out, why did this happen to me? Like, why is it that I can have no issues in Afghanistan, no issues working on deep sea fishing boats, working 4 hours on, 4 hours off for 10 days, but then I own a business and I'm stressed to my eyeballs and burnt out. And I learned some really interesting things, and what I was able to do was turn those learnings into strategies. And now I specialize in helping owners, managers and leaders create win-win situations in their team where the team are winning, the business is winning, and most importantly, you, the owner or the leader, are winning as well. So let me just tell you a little bit about the jump. So the jump is basically, it's called the jump because what worked for you in the past stops working for you now. And this is typically around 3 to 6 years into business and when you've got a team of 5 to 50 employees. Now, before you got to this point, you working really hard, you doing everything, you being the fearless leader was good for you, good for the team, and good for the business, good for the clients. Everybody loved it. But as the business progresses and time goes on, it stops working for you. You start to get fed up with the business being reliant on you. Remember, you created it for freedom. At the start, you didn't mind because you had freedom from employment. You were your own boss. You liked doing everything. But it's very natural that a few years into your journey, you're going to actually want to start to have genuine freedom, some time away from the business. So that stops working. And some things change with your team as well. Your team get bigger and your team start to crave autonomy. It's a human nature that we want to be able to know we're doing a good job and not have to go and ask the boss for everything. So at the start, the team liked you being the fearless leader. They liked looking up to you for everything. They liked you being involved in everything. But now they don't. Now they start to crave autonomy, and you being there all the time and them having to rely on everything from you is actually disheartening them and demotivating them. So it worked for you in the past. It got your business to where it is, but that strategy of you doing everything and you being involved in everything now starts to work against your business. And this is why it's called the jump, because we've got to change our approach. And if we don't change our approach, we're going to stay stuck in business. You're going to be demotivated. Your team are going to be demotivated. You're not going to be able to sell your business. It's all going to be a waste of time. So what we've got to do is make the jump. And this is where most business owners, this is where you're going to get a competitive advantage by coming to this free workshop that I'm going to talk about in a moment. So what we're going to show you, which we've proven, which we've helped multiple business owners get away from their businesses, sell their businesses, make their businesses better through this simple process. What we're going to show you is that actually making this jump is not difficult. Let me rephrase that. It's not complicated. It is a little bit difficult, but it's not a complicated process. For you to go from an owner-dependent, stressful business to a team and systems-led, enjoyable business is not complicated. In fact, it's a simple 3-step process. Now, I shouldn't have said it's not difficult, because it is difficult, because we've got to change our approach. We've got to change our team's approach. We've got to think differently. So it is difficult, but once we get it in place and we start making traction with it, it's a doddle. Now, all you need to do is go through what we call a 3-step process, a proven 3-step process. And what I want to do is invite you to a 90-minute workshop, completely free, with me, where I'm going to talk you through this process and give you insights, and also provide you with the system. So I'm going to give you the stuff that you need to do so you can do it on yourself. Whilst I'm refining this workshop, I'm going to limit the places to 10. And the reason for that is I want to get your feedback, and I want you to have time doing Q&A with me. I don't want it to be a big thing. Once we've got it really dialed down, I want to make it a bigger workshop, so we'll make the spaces bigger. But what I'd like you to do is come along now while it's small, it's personal, and we get to have time chatting to each other. So in this workshop, in this 90-minute workshop, I'm going to show you the 3 key steps to take your business from stressful owner dependency to enjoyable team and systems led. And what this is going to lead to is you having freedom from your business, your team being more motivated. And we actually help businesses get award-winning levels of motivation by implementing this system. It's going to mean that you can reach more customers at a better margin, because you're going to be more efficient. And most importantly, it's going to mean that your business turns into a sellable asset, because a business that isn't reliant on the owner is attractive to acquirers and possible to sell. So those are the 4 things that will be the outcome of you learning this process. Now, the process is actually very simple. Okay, so it's called the clarity is the first piece, focus is the second piece, and then accountability is the third piece, the CFA process. So don't brand it as CFA, because it sounds like a certified financial advisor. But that's all we've got to do. All we've got to do is create those 3 things. And when we create clarity, we create focus, and then we make sure there's a system in place to hold our team accountable, you will go from having to be involved in your operations and managing your team every day to being able to do that in 1 day a week or less. And your team will be happier, your business will make more money, and it'll become more sellable. So in this workshop, I'm going to talk you through exactly how to go through those 3 steps, what systems to use, how to implement it, and how to make this system work within 14 weeks. Okay, so if you follow the process that I give to you, you'll make this work in 14 weeks. Now, why am I doing this workshop for free? Because I genuinely want you and your business and your team to be happy and to reach your best potential. Am I going to try and sell you something? At the end of the workshop, I will show you that we have an offer where we can partner with you to do this for you, but it's completely optional. It's not a hard sell. You can absolutely 100% do this process on your own. And just to prove that, and to give you an extra kind of motivation to come, if you come to the workshop and you attend, I'm going to send you directly a free copy of my Amazon best-selling book, The Happy Business Revolution. It's a fantastic book, I would say that. I'm going to send you a copy signed, and in here is pretty much step-by-step how to implement what we're talking about. So that's, again, more proof that I just want you to know this process and implement it. Now, if that leads to you trusting us enough that you want us to do it with you, fantastic, but that's certainly not the main focus of this workshop. The main focus of this workshop is to get you to see clarity on how to move through this stage called the jump. So what I want you to do is just click the button below or to the side, stick your email in. I know we might already have you, but by you doing this, it tells us that you want to be on the wait list. And as soon as we release dates, I'm going to send you the dates first that you can get booked onto one of those. If you've got any questions in the meantime, you can drop us a WhatsApp or an email via the buttons to the side as well. I look forward to seeing you on this workshop. Trust me, implement this simple process and you can take your business from stressful owner dependency to enjoyable team and systems led and a business that can sell. Look forward to seeing you there.